So there's a lot to talk about with this Ultimate Master thing, and I'm pretty much going to have to do like 3-4 videos and break it apart. It's a very complicated thing that's not really as simple as a lot of people may believe. There's a lot of mixed emotions. There's a lot of emotions on this whole thing, honestly. So I really think this video we're going to talk about the price, the MSRP, what I think is going on, what are the biggest risks and dangers in the direction of what's happening. And then, like I said, I'll have a very aggressive, crazy video also coming pretty soon, which is going to be really great. And then a third, final kind of place your bet style video. So in this video, we're going to focus just on MSRP, price, print run. We're going to talk about the possible outcomes, what the probability of each outcome is, and let's go through it, shall we? So first thing. So Ultimate Masters, obviously, as most people know by now, and a lot of people sent me private messages, were wondering, Rudy, how come before the official announcement came out, you had a video talking about Ultimate Masters, but you were very vague about it? Did you have information on it? I did have some generic information on it, some specific from a couple people, but they were not reliable sources, and so I'm not really surprised to see anything that was going on. Hence why you guys saw a video on this channel before the announcement, actually a day before, but the information in that was, everybody calmed down. It was very generic. So I didn't really want to deal with issues or Wizards problems on that, legal issues. So let's talk about the price. This MSRP of $336 a booster box it seems to be the hot topic. The actual cards in the set, the box topper, the Masterpiece Lottery card on top of every box does not really seem to be, well, nobody seems to be unhappy about it. Everybody seems to actually be pretty happy with a loaded Master set actually being the ultimate, grand finale, whatever perspective you want to see with it. That seems to be just fine. Everybody's pretty happy. I mean, the cards look cool. The full art looks cool. That's great. I mean, we're not going to focus too much on that in this video. Now let's talk about this MSRP of the $336 or, so we're going on a very different direction with WotC products and Magic the Gathering products as a whole, which is really the inception, the seed was the invention of Modern Masters 2013. At the $7-8 a booster pack, I think it was $6.99 MSRP. And then, of course, when they realized it was a blowout success and they realized how much cash they left on the table, they raised it to $10 a pack or $2.40 a box MSRP. Now, or previously, we had then the Ravnica Mythic Timmy Edition box, which was $270 for 2/3 of a, Guilds of Ravnica box. So, now that that was a big success, now we're even higher at $336. So clearly we can put a graph on the screen and you can continuously see the uptick that's going on here. I think this is the new direction and the trend for premium products and different things and it's okay. And it's not for everybody, quote unquote, Wizards. And I think we've really turned a direction with this. Wizards has really clearly recognized the power of reprint equity, the power of cashing in on their own cards, but being extraordinarily cautious. Well, it may not look like it to the public, but they're being extraordinarily cautious with how they use up that equity, the cards that they squeeze money out of. So, pretty much, in my opinion, by putting the MSRP so high and doing this box topper thing, I am in the camp that I do believe the box topper was a secondary add-on to the product. I believe this master set, I can't prove it, and I do believe it was a pre-completed master set. I think it's a set that's been done for a while, and I think the box topper was something that was added to ensure the grand finale and to ensure we did not have an erosion of value similar to Iconic Masters and Masters 25. And see, that's the thing. Iconic Masters and Masters 25 are not bad products. The reason people are upset about it is because those $240, $10 booster pack MSRP product. There's no arguing that people don't like the master products. People everywhere are not upset by the cards as much in the set as they are. The price is so high, so when you put garbage cards, it creates an anger emotional reaction because you're taking people's money. And again, the themes that you've been waiting for, draft is built around draft, whatever BS reason you guys want to come up with or, they publicly want to state is really indifferent. At the end of the day, it's very clear what's going on with the financials of WotC Hasbro, what's going on here, especially with the closing of Toys R Us. A lot of the losses and issues Hasbro is having with the rest of the segments of the market. Now, obviously, according to their very vague financial reports, Magic the Gathering and Monopoly continue to be very strong brands in a weak environment. So, in my opinion, it's like, it's to finish off that comment on the Masters 25 and Iconic, people are only upset because the price was so high and the box values eroded down to the correct value that the box should have been at. Right now, as of the filming of this video, Iconic Masters and Masters 25 have an expected value of about $150, $160 a box. The problem is at $240 MSRP and stores paying $140 and $145 at release, it created a very bad experience. Now again, if these boxes were normal $4 booster packs and MSRP was $143 and stores paid $80 a box and they were selling for $100 a piece, people would love the product. Even if it was slightly higher. Even if it was a $4.99 MSRP booster box or a pack, and then $160, $170 MSRP. So the issue is, what's happening is Wizards is determined in moving forward that they're going to give us the reprints we want, but they're going to make sure the prices and the collectability and the value of the secondary market does not erode. They do not want the prices to go down. No matter what anyone's going to tell you publicly and whatever smiling face on the approved channels are going to tell you, and the approved people on the Wizards of the Coast, holding hands, walking through the park type people, the reality is they are playing a very, very detailed chess game, and they know exactly what they're doing, everybody. Now, back to this new thing now. So let's focus on the MSRP of the new Master Set. So $336, yeah, it's a high MSRP. Honestly, if I was working at Wizards, which never going to happen, but if I was working at Wizards of the Coast, I think the MSRP is too low. I would have put the MSRP at $4,500. Why? Because most of the Timmies out there are going to pay for it. And they tested the waters multiple times on Modern Masters 1, 2, 3, Guilds of Ravnica Timmy Edition, and people throw money at their computer screens, they run outside and touch themselves. They don't give two shits. And quite frankly, that behavior is not going to be modified by a higher price point. Therefore, in economics, it is in the best interest of the company to pull that rubber band as high as possible. Now, in addition to this whole thing, I don't think the MSRP is really an important thing like everybody's focused on, because it's really irrelevant. Because again, we live in a time where MSRP or SRP, whatever suggested retail number you want to go by, it doesn't mean anything. Nobody abides by it. There's no MAP pricing, there's no enforcement of a certain minimum level, everything's loosey-goosey. Everything's a fugazi. It's very loose, it's very vague, it's frowned upon, but at the end of the day, the MSRP doesn't mean anything. It's an arbitrary number. Now, of course, in the retail, MJ Holdings, Walmart, Target, and all of the, Barnes & Noble, in the retail environment, MSRP is a little different because they sell individual packs or blisters, as we all know. And it's very interesting this time around how they did not assign the individual booster pack value for the sealed box because they didn't want to come out and assign a value to a lottery-type scratch-off ticket on the box for legal reasons. So they gave us the MSRP of the 3-pack blister for retail distribution, but they did not give us a retail breakdown for the booster packs. They kept it very cut and dry for a box price only. So you can definitely tell the legal team is going out of their way to make sure the T's are crossed, the I's are audited, and the punch in the nutsack, it goes undiscovered. And here's the thing. I don't think anyone's really going to pay $336 a box at release. This is what I think is going to happen. I want to place my chips on the table. I think eBay is going to average, which I think as of the filming of this video, eBay is averaging between $290 and $300 a box. I think some poor souls are going to go local game stores and they're going to be paying $300 to $400 a box in the beginning window when the prices are going to have a slippery slope. So now we're going to get into the next thing. Right now, I think eBay is about $290. I expect eBay to probably bottom out at, I think there's going to be a tiny window where eBay was, some of the infamous eBay sellers, which I shall not name because I don't want to give them free publicity, but we all know already. The infamous couple eBay sellers, they're going to fire sale their entire probably 1,000 to 2,000 box allocation from all 5 distributors nationwide. And they're going to flush it out. And even if they make $1 a box, $5 a box, or they take a loss, they don't give two shits. And they're going to flush the system, and it's going to put downward pressure on the actual box price sealed. Now, I think that individual seller and some others that fire sale with the mass drops and different things, they are going to get flushed out so quick. I think we're going to have the rubber band elasticity theory of economics really pushed to the limit. You take that rubber band and you can push it and stretch it as low as possible and push that price down. That rubber band is going to want to pull back upwards. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. So I predict that those certain sellers are going to fire sale the boxes between $230 and $250 a box. And I think when that happens, it's not going to last but maybe a couple hours and it's going to be gone. And then the rest of the market on eBay is going to maintain between $270 to $300 a box through the release period. Now, there is a couple variables we don't know about. Now, and again, like I said, there's a lot of information on this. So this is just going to be one part of the series, everybody. It's just too much to discuss in one video. So I'm going to go on a limb too, and I have reason to believe, unlike the previous themed master sets we've been waiting for, the base set in Ultimate Masters is going to be loaded. And we're talking Modern Masters 2017 style, maybe with an extra little ratchet uptick compared to Modern Masters 2017, which is, whoa. You know, and I think because they're not taking chances. Remember, just because they stated, and again, I know I'm jumping around, there's just so much shit to talk about. Even though they stated that this is the end of the master style products, as we all know, the reprints and the master boxes are going to continue. They're going to be under a different name. The reprints are going to be labeled and redistributed and, you know, designed differently. But the master products will continue under a different name. So let's go back to this eBay thing. So at launch, what I predict and what I see based on previous releases of specialty products that were extremely hyped, Modern Masters 2017, I'm looking at you, I think the print run is going to be identical. I think we're going to have the same style print run as Modern Masters 2017. Make sure you guys are still with me. Are we still there? Yeah, we're still here. Okay. So I think the print run is going to be the same as MM 2017, and I do think the price is going to be around $300 a box. It's going to downshift to maybe the 240s, 250s, 260s for a very small window of time. I have not decided what I'm going to do with my allocation yet. As of the filming of this video, I have been guaranteed between the multiple sources that I can pull boxes from a minimum of 500 boxes. I'm going to pull for between 1,000 and 1,500 boxes. Now again, even wholesale pricing on this, again, some of these distributors, for me to get some of the extra stuff, I'm willing to pay them extra money. So I'm going to pay a higher price. So I'm looking at, you know, I could be literally looking at something like this where, you know, even 1,000 boxes, you know, I could be looking at a minimum of $200,000 to do this type of thing. It is a gamble. It does carry risk. If the prices of the base set are not that good and the cards are very weak, it can erode downwards and create into that cutting, falling knife scenario, and then panic could set in like the iconic M25, where the prices drop so low after shipping or fees online, you actually start taking losses. I do not think that's going to occur with this particular type of product, though. I actually do think that after this initial wave, when all the stores get their boxes, we're going to have a very small window of opportunity. For anybody out there who wants the product at a good price, it's going to be your one and only opportunity to get this specialty product. If you cannot afford it, I do not recommend leveraging yourself or investing in the product unless you are comfortable holding on to it for 6 to 12 months at minimum. This is something that I do think will creep up and go up in value. This is the first time that Wizards is doing something new. It's first to market, everybody. It's the very first box topper lottery card setup. Whether you agree or disagree with the product, the card quality, the Pringle chip that pops out of the pack, whatever you want to call it, at the end of the day, it is the first of something. First ofs are going to always be sought after no matter what it is. So, I want to kind of start kind of slowly wrapping this up because, like I said, it's a ton of shit to talk about, everybody. I know it's a lot to absorb. I know sometimes the videos like this, some people actually watch them multiple times. There's just so much talking and rambling I'm going through. So I think we have that dip to 230, 240, 250, maybe for maybe a day or two. And I do think we're going to hold the $270, $300 a box price point. Now, as far as the print run goes, if I'm accurate as far as what I believe and my information is accurate on what I've been told, this is a one and done style thing. There is not second or third additional waves or a additional monster stockpile being hidden or printed like Iconic and M25. To refresh you all's memory, on Modern Masters 2017, after the product came out, it sold like crazy. I sold all 700 boxes to the patrons, and I'll be honest with you, I never got more. There was never another restock. There was never another print run, and here we are a long time later. I mean, I sold all the boxes, good lord, 150s, 170s, 190s, I think. 199 and 150 and 2 packs, so that was like 170 for patrons of long term. I can't remember the details, it's been so long. You know, and this is a similar scenario. I think, and now Modern Masters 2017 is $350 a box. It's nuts. And I think it's going to hold that. And no matter what, there was a little side question I wanted to touch on this video. And that is, a lot of people think that with these ultimate reprints and all these things continuing, people want to know, what about the older master sets? Are they now the old news, That's the old. That's the has been. It's old news. We don't want it. We don't care about those ex-girlfriends anymore. I disagree with that. Now we're creating something where it's almost going to be like there's going to be people out there that want to collect one of every master set now that the series has come to an end, and that's a whole different video and a whole different conversation, everybody. So I know I'm rambling a really long time. I hope the camera's still going here. Are you guys still with me? Holy crap, yeah. So this is something that I hate to say it, but again, buying at $250 to $300 a box, I think it's a good price. I think it's a good product. And obviously, I don't have the details in the base set. The thing is, the MSRP, yeah, it's too high. There's no point in beating on the dead horse. We know. It's unbelievable, but you know what? If I was Wizards, I would do the same thing because most of you all are going to pay it. And there's people who are going to go to local game stores, and they're going to pay the full 300 plus tax. There are going to be people paying $320, $330, $340 in the local store, and I don't think they're going to bat an eye. They're going to complain, but they're going to pull out that credit card, and they're going to swipe away. And as long as that behavior never changes, which I don't think it will, Wizards is not in the wrong for moving forward with that behavior. I may not agree with it. Most of you may not agree with it. And it's not going to lower the price of modern cards. Putting all the good cards that we actually want finally in a master set, but making the price of the packs and the cards so expensive to get, you're not going to devalue the equity. And they know that. So I want to lay that out there too. So again, this is a non-crazy, this is a very kind of just a financial discussion video with you all. If I was sitting around with everybody at a table, this is kind of how I would discuss it. So if this information turns out to be completely accurate, and my instinct is it will be, if there is no actual restock, this is going to be a very hard release. The demand, the money's going to fly everywhere, and we're going to have a slow dip in prices, and then it's just going to constantly do an uptick. Just like the original Modern Masters 2015, Eternal, and MM 2017. Besides the two theme sets we were waiting for that nobody actually waited for, this box is probably going to continue on the trend of all of the actual successful master sets. So with that being said, I don't know how this is really going to affect as far as investment long term. And I don't really know if Wizards is going to capitalize and do surprise secondary or third reprints on something like this, even though they state it's a one-and-done product. That is a variable, that is a wild card, and a lot of people don't believe in Wizards anymore, and they don't believe their credibility is accurate, because they say things like, no more core sets! Core sets are back! No more master sets, this is the last one. No, we heard you. Sorry we fucked you on Iconic Masters. This is the theme set we've been waiting for. And you got to be real careful with it because the credibility is not there with a lot of the stores and high net worth individuals and investors. They've burned the bridges with those people. And once that happens, their behavior and how they behave on larger dollar amounts and large scale investing is permanently changed. And I think that is where we are currently in the environment. Now, I want to touch on one last thing before I wrap this video up, everybody. And that is, according to distributors and a lot of conversations, so distributors are not really doing any major discounts for stores or large purchasing people like me. So I'm not able to get like a lower, really aggressive price to offer crazy good deals. Like I can't get these for 160s, 70s, 80s, 90s. The prices, one distributor is like 210, another one's like over 200, another one's 200 plus but not determined. I'm getting a lot of just mixed signals. And then, one of them even said, well, you can have more, but throw us some extra money. If you're willing to pay maybe 210, 220, maybe we can get you some extra boxes. There's a lot of gray area corruption style behavior that does go on with specific and sometimes certain distributors. And, I'm not going to call anything out because I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me, and I understand how the business world works. And unfortunately, I think most of you out there also understand that, this is a very, there's a lot of gray area behavior that goes on when you deal with product that's special and money this large. And, the things that do concern me is, most small stores and normal size stores, small to medium, regular, or startup LGS stores, if they were dumb enough to open, their allocation on a product like this is probably going to be pretty small. More established stores, maybe it's, hey, tell us what you want. But the issue is this. The prices are so high. These LGS stores and these people, they can't afford to buy a lot of this product and sit on it. Remember, if I want to just buy 100 extra boxes or not sell 100 boxes to patrons, and I want to sit on those 100 boxes, I mean, I'm looking at sitting on $20,000 to $25,000 just for 100 boxes. I mean, you know, it's the dollar amount is massive, even to my standards, and I'm a corrupt scumbag. You know, the amount of capital we're talking is very uncomfortable, and I think, you know, I just don't think there's gonna be LGS stores around the country this time next year that are gonna be like, oh yeah, hang on, over here in the back room, I got an extra 100 boxes of Ultimate Masters and some box topper just sitting here. I've been investing and sitting on them. Said no store, no one's going to do that. Now the big boys, like I talked about in my other videos, who have large accesses to money because they're established with the floating card castles and the big snowballs of channels, that's different. They can probably do that. And again, this goes back to how the little guys just, you know, they're not set up in this situation to really capitalize and make it big. And again, and my concern is, okay, if most stores and people are not going to be sitting on extra product and build levels or something because they don't want to tie up that much money, what is going to happen to this product 6 months from now when it's long gone? And all the other Ravnica sets come out, and more Timmy, Mythic, Hasbro Direct sets come out, and, you know, all these other From the Vault, but it's not called From the Vault, and the Jace's Spellbook from the Grandchild's Pet Hamster comes out. You know, what's going to happen when all of that stuff comes out? And nobody has these left on the shelf, and the secondary market starts just going nuts. 350, 400. I can see it easily happening. So Rudy with Alpha Investments, I'm done rambling. I know it's a long video. It's a lot to take in. I just wanted to kind of have a discussion with everybody and talk about a lot of just the number MSRP part. So I'm going to do another video here pretty soon, and we're going to talk about the full art, what's going on, the differences in the direction going on with the type of sales and the tactics going on. There's just, it's a very complicated thing. This is the first time in a long time I think I need to do multiple videos on this topic. So I hope you guys learned something today, and tell me what you think. Is there something else you guys want me to touch on this topic? Please let me know so I can do it. I haven't filmed the next few segments yet, and the final segment is the Tony Montana segment. That'll be the grand finale of Ultimate Masters.